Hi again, it's Josie. I'm going to be a little bit all over the place with this 28-week pregnancy update because I'm a bit pressed for time. I have a lot of stuff I got to get done today. It always feels like Thursday is the day that everything has to be done. Maybe I should do the first part of this video on Wednesday in the future and then go over just the stomach itself on the actual weekly progression date, which would be Thursday. Anyway, like I said, I'm 28 weeks pregnant today, and when I weighed myself this morning, I was 145 pounds. I know some issues I've had this past week have been awful hemorrhoids, but also I've been feeling like my face looks a little bit puffy, and my weight's not even like crazy because, well, back ago I was like 146 or something, but yeah, my face, to me, it feels more round, and to the people around me, they say it looks fine, but I don't know. I think I'm starting to get to the point of maybe swelling some. I've had a lot less actual pelvic pain, but as far as nerve pain, I think I've gotten a few more issues feeling like every now and then I pinch a nerve, and that's very uncomfortable. I've actually had a lot less night sweats recently, which I love because I just feel a little gross waking up at like 3 in the morning and my clothes are wet. Fortunately, it's not been to the point of soaking the bed, but yeah. I'm glad that that has not been an issue this time around. And my suspicions about spinach being as bad as they were with my first pregnancy, remaining as bad with this one, were absolutely right. I actually had my gestational diabetes blood test, the 28-week blood test, and everything is fine except my iron's low. So they're like, eat dark leafy greens, and honey, I can't do that. It's in and then it's out, and then I'm cramping and uncomfortable for like 24 hours afterwards, if you know what I mean. So it's not even the girly cramps, it's uncomfortable, nauseous, like diarrhea type cramps. So as much as I like spinach, when I'm not pregnant, I can eat it. It helps get things flowing, but when I am pregnant, it's 24 hours of not fun. So no more spinach. I guess it's more beef, cooking with my cast iron, which I've been doing, iron supplements. I really should stay away from the insane amount of milk that I guiltily enjoy. I love it. I love dairy when I'm pregnant. And even still, like, I have to be careful of all the things that have calcium in them because that can inhibit the iron absorption is what I'm being told. So, such is life. Every other day, it seems that my top is swollen. My sinuses were a little bit inflamed this morning. I think that has to do with the fact that my husband tried to have me fix the AC in the car last night. I mean, there's just a little something I had to do, but I couldn't understand it, and I ended up crying for half an hour or more. And let's just say, I think that contributed to the headache that is now waning. It's definitely gone down. It's just having slept on it was not a very good idea. You know, I love him, and I have expressed wanting to learn to fix cars, but I don't think doing it over the phone in a 15-minute spurt and then I unplug something that could have caused the radiator to blow, like, that's just not the way to go. Ooh, I do occasionally get like lower back pain if I'm walking a lot, and then followed by the little nerve issues. As I said, it's the lower back. It's not like the pelvic type pain. So I did have someone ask about embarrassing symptoms, and I'll go briefly over what I would consider to be embarrassing throughout the pregnancy. One thing would be too much fiber when you're pregnant, in my opinion, is not nearly the same as too much fiber when you're not. It's uncomfortable and it causes like a day afterwards of like recovery, where I've not really had that kind of issue before. However, the worst one would have to be occasionally wetting myself at night. And this had happened with my first pregnancy too, and it's definitely happened a couple times with this one, but it's like those first major growth spurts and stuff. So the 3-month, 4-month mark, it happened to me like twice. And then I remember with my last pregnancy, it happened again at like 7 to 8 months. It happened like 3 or 4 times. And so, I mean, I started wearing pads and everything to bed so that it wasn't a big deal. But that's by far the most embarrassing one. Sorry, I sneezed. That's by far the most embarrassing one, followed by sneezing and wetting yourself, which can happen even before you ever give birth. I've gotten better at knowing how to deal with that, and with this pregnancy, it's only happened 3 or 4 times, but you gotta just keep a change of underwear. I don't feel the need to necessarily wear like pads or anything for something like that, but to have a change of underwear and being able to clean that out, because it's never been enough that it goes through all my clothes. It's just, oh, I need to step away right now. And sometimes once you get later on, leaking through your shirt, that's a little embarrassing because the tension goes there. So that's another one, but that wasn't an issue with me until I was in my 9th month with my first child. And so we'll see if it's even a problem with this one, because I've learned, I've been there, done that at least once. So once I start getting past 36 weeks, I may go ahead, and if they're always feeling sore and tender, I might just wear like a pad. You know, there's milk pads and stuff, so that if that does happen, it's not a big deal. And hemorrhoids. So hemorrhoids are something that I've shared because a lot of people actually experience them after having been through pregnancy, and then it can be something that affects you for the rest of your life that you have to be mindful of, and they'll come up and you have to take care of them. So when your midwife says you can use your finger to help push them back in, that actually does help. So I recommend, you know, always making sure you look up these videos from people on YouTube who tell you how to be clean down there all day long, because they will also talk about keeping all the girl places clean and all the hygiene involved with it and getting you comfortable with taking care of that area. Because you don't want to just keep rubbing it and letting it sit out and getting raw. It's going to be very painful. It's not fun. I think, was it Tux pads? No, Tux wipes, things like that you can use. But when your midwife says to use certain things, listen to her. I know I like to use baby oil to help keep everything kind of like smooth, but listen, it's not fun. If you're getting to that point, or if you're dealing with it now, listen to them. You're not the only one going through it. Don't worry, don't be embarrassed. That's all the really embarrassing things that I've had recently, or I've had ever, because some of those weren't recent. And before I forget, I think the question specifically asked, you know, things like farting. I don't actually have anything having to do with farting related to pregnancy other than a diet change, because I know that certain foods that when I overindulge when I'm not pregnant, it's the same thing as the fact that I'm craving them now and I am pregnant. So a lot of things, like if I ever crave pork chili and stuff like that gave me problems well before pregnancy, and it gives me problems now if I indulge in it. And things like chocolate. I have way too much chocolate. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if I'm pregnant or not. That's just more of an issue of what I'm craving. So I would say, I guess it's a thing because they're pregnancy cravings, but that's related to diet. If I'm mindful of what I'm eating, then flatulence is not really a big deal. If I just eat whatever my cravings desire, then yeah, it's gonna affect it. But that has to do with the food that I'm eating. Now on to the belly. So again, I don't have any fetal movements or anything like that. I've been pretty busy, and I don't know, I feel like this kid's camera shy, but I do have the way my stomach looks from earlier this morning. And again, like that was like first thing in the morning. I took a shower and went ahead and took those clips for you guys. So I definitely didn't dress up today at all for this. I am very exhausted. As I said, I got like a sinus headache and things. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because I will show you my actual stomach anyway. So, here's my stomach from the front, and then here it is from the side. "28 weeks. This is one of the interesting things about it. You can see where, like, it's definitely sticking out from where my actual torso is. Like here. And then, of course, my hips. If you want to share any experiences that you've had with some embarrassing pregnancy symptoms and you're comfortable with sharing them, go ahead and do so in the comment section. I look at them all because I only get a few every time. And of course, I hope that this video was insightful or helped you feel not so alone with certain things, and that you enjoy this journey with me. And I definitely look forward to meeting this little man and then doing those postpartum updates when that time comes. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye.